Well, for today's video, I'll be doing well, basically my level, 400 level, has a field trip, as I'll call it. We were supposed to go on a field trip, like IT and the rest, but we didn't go. So we're having ours in school here, and we're asked to be our mental health, white and black. So yeah, let's just get to the video. I'm not wearing a jacket because I'm hot. Office. Oh, yeah, looking so cute. So apparently it's for all levels. I thought it's just 400 level. So those are 300 level students. Hi, Olokwa. Good morning. I'm fine. See professionals, diplomats. EDY. Hi. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me come out. My first entry was nowhere. Yes, international relations department. And this is for our field trip. And this is my first meeting. Hi. Diplomat. We're here to discuss about strategic studies. Stay tuned and wait for us. We're having a meeting with United Nations officials. Oh, nice one.
How do you say this is going?
Well, for you, I'll send you to Australia. And now.
No way. It's not the people that are coming first.
My name is Gerika Birukira. I'm from Tanzania. I see my flag there. I'm really pleased to see that it wasn't very few countries represented. And I work at the head of UNICEF for Kaduna, looking after Niger State, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Kwara State. Okay, so next. Because of the microphone, I think they can't hear.
Good morning. My name is Martha Kilimo. I can see my flag there. So you know where I'm coming from. And I'm the head of UNDSS for Kaduna and Niger. How many of you knows what is UNDSS? None? All right. Thank you. Morning all. My name is Daniel Abdulsalam. I work with International Organization for Migration, IOM. As you can see, I'm a Nigerian like you.
International students, Father here, isn't it? You plan to go international. Huh? Clap for yourself. I'm the Secretary. I'm the consultant working with the PH Academy here.
Let me see if I can get you to work a bit better. Yeah, if I can come as close as I can. So, good morning, everyone. I'm sure from the way they presented themselves, you can see how well positioned ladies are in the United Nations system. Can you see that? So you can see that ladies take the lead there. So my name is Dr. Idris Baba. I'm a health specialist. I report directly to Dr. Jerida. So you can see that the ladies took the stage first. So anybody else that you see following behind, you see reporting to somebody who was here before you. You are welcome.
Good morning, all. My name is Waje Aminchi. I'm Nigerian from Kaduna State. I work on speak, madam. Just as you said, women take the lead in the United Nations.
We will not have PowerPoint presentation, but we'll give you a brief of what we do. So the first agency that will start is WHO, World Health Organization, and Dr. Furera will present. So I'm just checking, should we ask questions at the end, or we should do presentation, and then we can go into discussions. So if you don't mind, we'll start on brief what we do by agency, then you have a chance to ask questions. You can write down your questions, and like your professor said, this is your chance to ask questions that you need to ask. We'll try to answer to our best of our ability. All the best. Dr. Freire.
Thank you very much. I feel very delighted to be here. Okay, right, thank you. Thank you, students, once again. I feel quite delighted to be here. And I've been asked to talk about the WHO. I'm sure you know we cannot discuss the WHO or any of the organizations in one day. We'll just go to brief highlights so that you can, I know your age, your generation, what do? You Google it, isn't it? Whatever I give you here, you can always fill you can fill up the blanks with whatever you Google. So can anybody tell me what the WHO stands for? Oh, you know it very good. Like you said, WHO stands for World Health Organization, and it's a specialized United Nations agency which is responsible for international health. WHO was established on April 7th, 1948, and came to work officially in September. That's why you see we celebrate the World Health Day when? April 1st. April 7th. Write that down. That is the World Health Day, right? And it has its headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, and it has 6 regional offices. We, Nigeria, we are under the African Regional Office, and there are other 5 regional offices. You can Google that. It is governed by the World Health Assembly, and it's composed of about 194 countries. It elects and advises the executive board, and at the moment, our Director General is from Ethiopia. We are truly an international organization, and his name is Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. And it officially mandates to promote health and safety while helping the people worldwide, especially with particular attention these days to women and children. Right. So like we said, we are the directing authority, coordinating international health within the United Nations system, and we adhere to United Nations values. And these values are integrity, professionalism, and respect for diversity. You see us sitting down here, you have somebody from Tanzania with us. That's what the UN stands for. Right. Then it's also responsible for providing leadership on global health matters, shaping the health research agenda, setting norms and standards, and articulating evidence-based policy options. We provide technical support to countries and monitoring and assessing health trends. We shall say health for all by the year 2030. achieving these targets, the sustainable development goals by 2030. These are how the WHO sets its agenda, so that we can work towards achieving particular targets. We have four core values, which are integrity and ethics. At all times, we try to maintain high integrity, and we also respect for ethics. Then respect for all, irrespective of gender, or disability. And then we are always innovating and also trying to drive the agenda. We also have values which we are known for. These are also integrity. We try to be accountable for whatever we do. And then we are diligent and also persevere, and we also always are under discipline. Our mission is to promote health, to keep the world safe. We serve the vulnerable and as well with measurable impact on people at all times and at country level. So we just basically play leading roles in public health. Notably, we've heard of smallpox eradication. The WHO spearheaded it, other UN organizations and communities and governments. We have also reached near eradication with polio, poliomyelitis, and you can see that we have made advances in developing Ebola vaccine. How many of you heard of the Ebola outbreak in West Africa that killed so many of our brothers? Did you hear? Yes, there's a vaccine for it now, and this is all due to setting the research agenda. Working in areas like HIV and AIDS, Ebola, malaria, tuberculosis, non-communicable diseases, including heart diseases, cancer, and also we are working to improve nutrition and food security, occupational health, and substance abuse. We also advocate for universal health coverage, engagement and monitoring of public health risks. We coordinate responses to health emergency, and we promote health and well-being generally. Generally, for our program of work, we target at least 3 billion people to promote health, to protect the vulnerable, and as well as to ensure that we achieve universal coverage for health. It's not take too much of the time because we are really talking. But I just want to talk about Nigeria, who our leader is. Like I told you, we have country offices, and our present leader in Nigeria, Dr. Wanda Kazat, from GRC, and he works through 37 states, and his FCT stands out, classify FCT as state. In Kaduna, they also have a state office, and we have a state coordinator that runs the affairs of the office. So basically, this is who we are, and like we said, in summary, our main function is providing leadership for global health. We shape the research agenda, we set standards for global health, and we advocate for evidence-based ethical policies that evidence health, and then we monitor and assess health trends globally. For careers and WHO, because I know as international students, international relation students, we are hoping to go international, isn't it? We have a strong workforce, and our policy for hiring are grounded on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We also strive for gender balance, throughout the organization. So we encourage applications for both unrepresented and underrepresented countries, and also groups. So what are job areas? We have job areas in public health, management and leadership, operations, and emergencies. So this is what we are in a nutshell. I'm available for any further questions. Thank you.
Make it louder if you really appreciate it. You have given us a brief account from the historical perspective of your WHO, their mode of operation, their scope of coverage, opportunities that you have as somebody whose interest is international. job opportunities, and all of that. The fact that the organization is gender sensitive, and from the look of the people here, you know that they have what we call gender balance. So I want to please implore you to take adequate note of all you are getting here. I want to plead with you, our presenters, that because of the importance we attach to this meeting, if you make available to us the soft copy of your presentation, maybe wire it through our HOD so that we can circulate it among students as a reference material. I don't know whether you oblige us that, please. Thank you for that. The next speaker, please.
I don't know how many of you know about IOM. You hear the word migration, what thought comes to your mind? I know a lot of people will think I want to jump out of Nigeria. After graduation, what remains? I know some people say don't get their visa, one waka. I will not be like, so what I tell you how we take start. Okay, international migration is a leading international organization in the field of migration in terms of monitoring movements of people in and out of the country and across. So this is what IOM does. We monitor your movement. People who don't get visa for grant, our ID grant. And I believe some of us will be visiting some of our centers for medical assessment soon. Our mission is migration for the benefit of all. Migration for the benefit of all. That is our mission. And international organization was established in 1951. And it becomes a UN migration in 2016. What we do, one of the activities, one of our missions, also supports the government, is to assist in meeting the growing operational challenges of migration management, to advance understanding of migration issues, 3, encourage social and economic development through migration, 4, uphold human dignity and well-being of migrants. For those who will be traveling, this is one of our core areas we'll be looking out for, and also support the Nigerian government, because years back, we understand that Nigerian government are having issues in terms of migration. The national immigration services years back doesn't have the kind of proper data, records of people who travel in and out of the country. But because of this gap, a lot of people have been traveling out of Nigeria through other legal ways, while some travel through the right channels. I believe most of us will be seeing the news how many migrants have died on the sea level. Those who want to travel through Libya, a lot of them lost their lives trying to cross over to European countries. So these are part of the issues we are having. And also for those who want to travel, please, you should also be advised, you should know the right channel to go to. One of our key activities as IOM, we do humanitarian emergency. Another one we do labor migration. Those who be traveling out of the family, so we do migration, labor migration. Migration and development, assisted voluntary return and reintegration, AVRR. Those people who are stranded, who want to come back to Nigeria, especially if they go to a country they don't know about the law, and they find that the country is a bit hotter for them. They can't move freely. Today, you hear one law, the other, moving is become a problem. So they become tired. They want to come back to Nigeria. So our team, our brand, we have this set of people, we call them the voluntary bring back those people back to Nigeria. A lot have been bringing, a lot of Nigeria. The last week we had some Nigerians from Libya that were brought into Nigeria. In fact, you see their health condition was nothing to talk about because they are very sick. We have what we call displacement tracking matches, DTM, which is ongoing across the globe. We have migration training, migration health. For those of us who will travel out to other countries, you will have to do a migration. We have a center called Medical Health Assessment Center, where we conduct your health assessment. That is where we'll be issuing you certificates where you present to the country where you travel to. IAM is from 67 countries from 67 countries in 1999. We have also expanded to 175 countries in 2024, with a further 8 as observers, observer states. We have various projects ongoing across Northwest, North Central, and Northeast. And if you all know the insurgency that is happening in Northeast states, the Boko Haram, I know a lot of us have heard issues like that. So we also support the Nigerian government in tracking displaced persons and also as help in kind of with data to share with other agencies who want to provide interventions. So there are lots of projects going on, like we have the CCM camp coordinator and camp management. We have shelter, we have NFI, we have wash unit, we have the DTM, just the displacement tribe, who are charged of tracking the movement of people due to displacement. We also have the flow monitoring, people who travel from Nigeria to other countries. We monitor those people who travel there. Now we are also tracking transhuman movement. I don't know how many of you know the word transhuman. Anybody have an idea? Okay. So the transhuman, it's a movement of herders, distant herders from across country into Nigeria. We understand that Nigeria has corridors where these people pass. So now we are trying to track them because some of these people come as far as Chad, Niger, Benin, Togo, and Cameroon into Nigeria. So we also do that. So for you to get more information, we have our social handles. We have our Facebook handles, which is IOM Migrations. We have our Twitter handles, which is IOM_migration. And we have our offices in Geneva. Our headquarters is offices in Geneva. Then our regional office is in Dakar, which is Senegal. We also have our country office in Nigeria, that is Abuja. We have various offices in Lagos, Benin, Katsina, Benue, and Yola, that is Adamawa State. For any other, thank you.
So, who can tell me what UNICEF stands for? You know it's an acronym, right? Who can? Put your hand, stand. You put your hand up? Yes. Don't Google. UNICEF is a bit larger in Kaduna, by the way. We are the largest, I think. I would like to say that. So we work in all areas, especially women and children. We work in adolescents, child rights, health, climate change, education, humanitarian, and we are big in emergency, and we are the biggest in the vaccine, especially the global vaccine chain that you get. But we work mainly through the government and the partnership. Our headquarters is in New York, but also we have hubs in Budapest, Hungary, Geneva, Nairobi, Copenhagen. Yes, for the regional office, we are based also in Dakar, Senegal, and we are working in over 190 countries. For Nigeria, we have 8 field offices. And like I said, Kaduna covers Nasarawa, Niger, and Kwara, but also you have another field office in Kano that deals with the Kasina, Zamfara. Also we have a field office in Sokoto, Maiduguri, Akure, which now is in Lagos. We have a field office in Port Harcourt that is dealing with the south area. And also we have a big office in Abuja. We are around 420 staff in UNICEF Nigeria. So you can see it's a really a big one. But we work in different areas, like I said, and especially these areas are the ones that are practical areas. So we have engineers, medical doctors, technicians, lawyers, activists, and different ones that are, I know later you would like to know how do you get there. And these are the questions I will leave, but we normally look at people who have that kind of background. Like when we are working in child protection, you will find social workers in child protection and lawyers. And if you are working in education, I find that most of our staff have been teachers before, and we are promoting education in many other areas. So if you work in water and sanitation, we have engineers, we have health promoters, we have public health, and what else? I'm going to leave with the Idris to continue. And I know, because you are going to ask that question, how do you get there? So the key is for you to identify the area, do the qualifications. In most areas, the minimum entrance is master's degree and some years of experience. But Dr. Idris, I would like him to speak more on the work of UNICEF before we go to UNDSS. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for setting the stage. The leader has already briefed you on a few things about UNICEF. Maybe I'll just add a bit. Just like she has gradually said, UNICEF came into being in 1946. So UNICEF is like 78 years old. So you can see it's maybe slightly older than some of the UN agencies. I like the first speaker who brought the issue of international, and some people have they add the images to the E in UNICEF. Yeah, you are not far from being right, but things have changed. If you hear from what the reader said, we are diverse in different areas. So essentially, let me put it this way: the world has changed over time, but the needs of children hasn't changed. Remain the same. So UNICEF commits to ensure that we protect the right of every child everywhere, irrespective of who he is or where he is around the world. Speaking about this, over 190 countries that we program around the world. So across this more than 190 countries, UNICEF has been working in some of the most challenging territories and environments. You've heard from our IOM colleague working in Borno. This is just maybe one of the toughest places in Nigeria, but by far not one of the toughest places around the world. UNICEF is around Afghanistan, we're in Sudan, we're in every one country that you can think of. That is why UNICEF set its foot. Because what UNICEF cares about is the protection of every child and ensure that he is protected, reaches full potential, and ensure that he survives and develops. There's a part about immunization going on everywhere. Dr. Federer reminded you of the latest vaccine around some of the viral hemorrhagic fevers. Polio has been a household name. Of late, I'm sure some of you must have participated in HPV, the human papillomavirus vaccine for the cancer of cervix prevention. Maybe some of you must have taken those vaccines. UNICEF is at the forefront, at the heart of ensuring that these vaccines are made available around the world. We are the largest providers of supply chain of vaccine and other commodities. In terms of core values, my senior sister from the WHO has mentioned some of the core values. The United Nations as a body have certain values that we uphold together as a family. One thing she mentioned, if you remember, she mentioned about care. We care. Bottom line, we care. We respect. We ensure integrity and we value accountability. UN is a body. This is what we do. None of us deviate from this particular values. IOM, UNDSS, WHO, UNDP, UNDP, whoever, once you are part of the UN family, you are bound by these core values that we together project. We value diversity and inclusion. UNICEF is one of the UN bodies that ensure that everybody, irrespective of your inclination, your religious values, your sexual orientation, your gender, whoever you are, we ensure that your voice is heard and you are included in our program. We take no exception and we do not discriminate against anybody. However, UNICEF is never neutral when it comes to children issues. We stand our foot down. That is why you see the anger of UNICEF when it touches children. We are never neutral there. It's not a matter of, okay, plus or minus, you can sacrifice the child. No matter what, once you say children are involved, UNICEF is never neutral there. We follow them, we protect them. If you finish in the military that you walk around here, you can hear them sometimes being a bit angry when it comes to certain programming. Yes, we do that. Whether there's a Boko Haram person there, whether he's a thief, whether it's once there's a child as a shield between him and the firepower, we ensure that that fire is never fired, no matter what. Hold on to your fire, take out the child from the vicinity, then you can do whatever you want to do. We are never neutral when you want to come to children. So we insist on every child survive, every child thrive, every child develop and reach their full potentials, and especially the girl child. So for UNICEF, yes, we are gender sensitive, but we really stand behind the girl child. We really want to push it forward, ensure that you get there a bit earlier, but we don't leave the boys behind. So the boys, you may not like some of these things, but that's the truth. The matter you know, in this world, boys will have a different form of aggression, even from our childhood stage till we develop. But that did become a bit more evident when Elisa spoke about adolescents. It began to play out of that. When we are children, you see that we're behaving the same way, we have the same kind of gaming and everything. But as you become an adolescent, we now begin to differentiate ourselves. Because the kind of aggression, the kind of, all kind of things of the male dominance now begin to play out. UNICEF wants to see how equality and equity comes into play to ensure that we don't leave the girls child behind. So we're very passionate about that, to ensure that you get there as quickly as possible. She has spoken about the issue of where we are in terms of head offices in all this part of the world. Now, you can see she mentioned about 4 or 5 different countries where we program, where our headquarters are. The strategy there is, in each country that you hear our headquarters, there is a hub. For example, if you take Budapest, that she spoke about, that is our financial mechanism is domiciled. All financial transactions are done in Budapest. That's what we call it the Global Shared Service Center. If you go to New York, you find that that's where the bigger boys are. If you go to Geneva, you find that that's where the logistics arm is. If you go so Nairobi, you find that UNICEF put certain hubs in different countries to ensure that we coordinate ourselves better, and this kind of regional instability hardly affect UNICEF. COVID was one of our experiences. Remember how COVID came in when the global shutdown came. UNICEF tried to ensure that service continued to be provided despite the lockdown, using our different hubs and using our different kind of our channels and our presence. In Nigeria, globally, we are led by a lady. That's another thing that maybe I forgot to tell you. The executive director of UNICEF is a lady. She's Catherine, an American. She's the 8th executive director of UNICEF. If you follow the trend of UNICEF, you find that ladies are very at the top. Ladies are all there, they're everywhere. So if you're a man in UNICEF, you begin to see your limit before long. But for ladies, I assure you that sky is your limit. You can get there. So in Nigeria, the same thing happened. Fortunately or unfortunately, the head of UN in Nigeria is another lady. She's an Christian Mondial. Her deputy is a lady, Dr. Ronald. The other deputy is a lady. So we have all the big boys in UNICEF are ladies. the head of the office, all her deputies, the chiefs, everybody. And you can see my chief here, who is in charge of the office here, is also a lady. By the time you take samples of all the 8 offices in Nigeria, I think we have like 6 of them are ladies. Maybe then the boys are struggling with the remaining 2 or 3 positions. But we are okay with that. So
Are you sure?
we are okay with that. We're comfortable. At least, one thing with ladies is that you are mothers. We totally believe in that. And I think it's but even men feel comfortable when we read. We hardly feel discriminated against. We are very comfortable with that. So I think UNICEF stands for United Nations Children Fund. Yes, it is. The I, the E, those ones that used to be emergencies before are now a bit silent. At one time, it was thought to be education. No, it's simple United Nations Children Fund. For short, yes, it is UNICEF. But as time goes by, just like Steve said, I can stand behind her and answer some of the questions in terms of how do you get into UNICEF. She told you all the program areas, from education, water and sanitation, health, child protection, social policy. One thing with UNICEF is that majorly we try to influence, we try to innovate, and we integrate. In influencing, what we do is we do what we call the child-sensitive budgeting. So it's not just about service delivery, it's not about programming, but UNICEF is interested in seeing where do government put their money. Do they put money where children benefit, or do they put money where only adults benefit? So we innovate, we influence, and we try to ensure that we put our eyes on where the money goes in during the project and during implementation of budget. So this innovation, the influencing, and the integration is very key to UNICEF to ensure that budgets and funds being spent in countries are child-focused and are child-friendly, to ensure that the environment is very mature and very friendly for every child to survive and develop. So maybe in short, I will stop here. I will take more questions. As we interact, just like what our colleague from the WHO, let's make it interactive. We take more questions and we'll understand each other better. Thank you very much.
I want your honest answer. Very honest, and think before you answer. When you think of security, what comes on your mind?
Security.
When you think of security, what comes on your mind? Huh? Protection. Can the security be a career? Yes. You're Gen Z or what? Is this a Gen Z or millennial? This is Gen Z. You're Gen Z. So you are very much aware of what is going on. When I was joining UN as a security officer, the first thing my dad did is to send me to the police because I was stupid. How can you leave your career and go be a gateman? When we talk of security, the first thing that comes to people's mind, especially our parents, is gate people, right? The people who are sitting in the gate, opening and closing the gate. They did not know that security is a career and people go to read. So now we are going to talk about security of the United Nations. UNDSS. Have you Googled that? No one has Googled that. All right. UNDSS is United Nations Department of Safety and Security. No one has heard of that. That is a core pillar of the UN. In the United Nations, that is why I came last. But normally, security in the United Nations comes first. UNDSS came to its inception in 2013, and it was because of the bombing in Iraq. How many of you know that there was a bombing in the UN headquarters in Iraq? None of you? Anyone else? Okay. Ever since the UN started, the blue the helmet, the jacket. Who has the blue? You see the blue, right? That was our shield. And that is why whenever you see the UN vehicles, what you will see is there is a UN written in either blue or black on top of the vehicle or on the side of the vehicle. That was our shield. That was our security, because we were regarded as neutral, right? But things changes, and we were started being bombed, being killed, being targeted. And after the bombing in Iraq, the people in New York said, enough is enough. We need to protect people who are supporting the world. All right? That is how UNDSS was formed, and it came to work officially in 2015, January 1st. Are we together? So what do we do? What is UNDSS officer does? We provide security experts to all United Nations agencies, funded programs, implementing partners, INGOs, NGOs. Whoever works for UN is protected. Our motto is, we came to support and we have to go back home alive. All right?
Yes.
We came to support and we have to go back home alive. However, even though that we have an organ that is dealing with our security, in each country that UN organizations, UN agencies, funds and programs are working, the host government is primarily responsible for the UN program, assets, staff, and everything concerning the program. So when we are in Nigeria, our security lies on the Nigerian government. So if you stole a UN car, I will come, I will find out what happened as a UNDSS, but United Nations New York, they are not going to start asking me, they will start asking the Nigerian government questions. Why are our people being stopped? Because the government is the primary security giver for the United Nations. UNDSS operates in 131 countries. Wherever UN have a footprint, you've heard about WHO, UNICEF, IOM, and UNDP, and any other UN agencies. As long as there is a UN footprint in a place, UNDSS is there. Because there is no program in the United Nations that is done without security. All right? What did I say? I thought I left you. Okay, so that is why we are here. We are here to support delivery of United Nations mandate. Our mandate is to ensure our staff, our program, our everything is done in a safe and secure environment. Are we together? So we enable the effective of United Nations activities by ensuring a coherent, effective, and timely response to all security-related threats and other emergencies. Who can tell me what is threat? Your international relations students, what is threat? What is threat? Come on, guys. What is threat? Where? Yes, sir. Very good. Please clap for him. Very good. All right. One hand we have threat. Everything that can harm us, right? And on the other hand we have risk. Who can tell me what is risk? Risk. No volunteer? Again, the same person. We need to take you to UNDSS. Yes, sir.
Good day, everybody. Risk refers to the dangers associated between a thing. Most times, these are calculated or non-calculated. For example, when I say the risk of having to visit Iraq, now I'm taking other factors into consideration. My security or the fact that majorly security. So that is a risk factor. It is associated with things we do that are capable of causing harm to us.
I'm so happy because you are very informed. So we have threat. Anything is a threat. Even you sitting there is a threat, right? If we are told now to run, how many people will be there? Huh? We will all run to the door. Why? Because the people behind will look at the first people, and that will be the direction, forgetting that there's other doors that we can exit the room from, right? So threat is everything. But there's threat and there's risk. Risks are those things that can harm you from the threat. So my job as United Nations security professional is to deal with the risk, to measure the risk, and to come up with the measures that will be conducive and will reduce those risks for our programs to continue, for our staff to be in Kaduna. Before you see staff coming to Kaduna or UN coming to Kaduna, there are UNDSS who have been there and did all this risk analysis and come up with the measures. And that is why, before, we are looking at the levels of the risk. If the level is too high, we say no, UN cannot go there. And this happened in Rwanda when the genocide started. UN packed and leave. But then later we sit and ask ourselves, we are there to support the people. Then when things get hot, we are the first one to leave. So what are we doing? Right? So we say, no, we are not going to run anymore. We are going to sit, we are going to stay, we are going to look into those risks, and we are going to mitigate those risks. So anybody who wants to do my job is a risk manager for United Nations. I am a UNDSS staff. If you want to do my job, you are in the right path. But you need to be strong. Because Kaduna, Nigeria is good. You may find yourself in Iraq, or you may find yourself in Jerusalem, or you may find yourself in Sudan. We are all there. We've been there. And my colleagues are there, right? So, I don't know if you are going to write. UNDSS is one of our secretariat agencies. We are inside secretariat. So we are not agencies, we are not funds and programs. You know what is UN secretariat? I'm sure you've learned a lot about UN Secretariat. If you didn't learn about UN Secretariat, then you don't know anything about UN, and you need to go back and start learning, researching what is the UN Secretariat, right? So we are directly under UN Secretariat, and we support other UN agencies on all security-related issues. For you to be a UNDSS officer, we call it Field Security Coordination Officer, you first need to go to inspira.org, and put your profile there, and that is where you start applying. All right? In terms of education, international relations, because before, UNDSS were employing only military backgrounds, police backgrounds. We're not using the force. So anybody really can do the job. International relations, as long as you know how to deal with the risk and deal with the threats, you can do the job, right? So when you go to Inspira, you will see what is needed for you to be a part of UNDSS. Thank you.
I believe you have been taking some valuable notes from the presentation so far. So you can put down your questions, and then they will be able to randomly pick on you to deliver your question for them to give their response.